when Courtney said yes, I was like, thank you. You know?
But I would do anything. But at the same time, this resonates really heavily with me because, you know, I just showed Linda my picture. I call it my Hollywood Don't. And it's all glamorous now, but at the time, I'm living on the street. I am sleeping on the Peppers had given me their baffling, so it all looks fabulous now, but it's a really gross, squalid room. And I'm, you know, doing exotic dancing down the road for like $200 a day. And like, you know, I even had some guy, I tried begging. I was really bad at it. Because I kept demanding. It was like 2 days. I was like, give it, come. What? You have to be nice.
Baking or
begging?
Oh.
And I also bake. You know, I was a kid from Oregon and New Zealand and England, whatever, and came to Hollywood, like a lot of people do. And, you know, what happens is that we end up on the street. There's not a big reception here when you get off the bus at the Greyhound station in downtown LA, okay? There's nobody waving a flag going, you're going to be a star, baby.
And scene.
You know, and there's a nasty man who is, you know, it's bad. And if you're a gay and you're gay or you're a lesbian or you're transgendered, and the more outside you are, the sort of more screwed you are in a lot of ways. So the sex industry here is massive. I have one friend that went into that and she ended up in a band and she regrets it to this day. I never had to do that, but I stripped. You know, everybody knows that. Whatever, everybody knows I stripped. But I did strip nude. Okay, my point is that I survived it and thrived through it, but I only did it because I had great friends and like Linda, who I actually knew since I was a kid in San Francisco. We used to pass each other on the street.
Yeah, we weren't friends.
No, we weren't friends.
Okay.
You were quite ambitious.
Let's get back to
so
the
it's
point
just
here.
We're lucky that we're West Coast women, but these kids from Iowa, they aren't so lucky.
Yes.
You know?
Courtney did the very first one, and now it's 5 years later.
Yeah, it's a big deal now.
It's a really, and it was at the Music Box, like to like maybe 100 people, and now we're at 900 people.
Yeah,
and
a lot of great underwriters, a lot of patrons.
Yes,
Fox, Toyota. You know, it's a lot of
Wells Fargo, American Airlines. We've got a lot of sponsorship, and
a lot of donuts.
It's Courtney Love and Amy Mann, which is amazing.
Oh, Amy's doing it?
Yeah, Amy Mann.
Awesome.
So amazing because she's actually one of my favorite because she's so underrated but she doesn't really, like, she's very powerful.
No, I had to dress her for the Academy Awards one time because she's amazing. Very shy.
But Wanda Sykes as well.
And Camp Freddy.
Which
is like Dave Navarro, Matt Sorum from Guns N' Roses, Billy Morrison. And
myself, and it's going to be a really great rock and roll evening. It's actually going to, I'm really looking forward to this one because it's going to be fun, and with Courtney, who knows what the hell's going to happen.
Well, more with Navarro, but yeah. Well, we were the guys are very Linda mixed with those guys because they're all very sort of bossy, and they do this kind of Camp Freddy's an amalgamation of a super group, if you will, and they play corporate gigs,
and they're really amazing.
They're great guys, but occasionally it's hard to get them to get a sense of humor. Like I'm like, why don't we why don't we do a funny song?
Let's stop there and let's move on to the next.
I love that Linda's bossing them around. We're picking the song now.
Right now.
I know that. No, I'm just
Courtney, get the whip. When I whip this out, that means get back on track.
I gave her the whip.
We're here for an evening with women. And Courtney, why are you doing this?
I am doing this because
I'll be the interviewer.
7,000 kids in Los Angeles a year go out on the street. They're basically, they come out to their parents and become homeless.
Well, 40% of the 7,000
and 40% of those
are
kids
LGBT,
are gay and lesbian, transgendered women, kids, and they get rejected and abandoned. When I was a kid, I wasn't because I was lesbian and or gay or trans. I was some other crazy thing. But
she was different.
I was 14. You know, as the parents' whereabouts unknown, and I end up on the streets of Hollywood. So I very much relate to this. And at the age of sort of 18 onward, and even the kids that go in to the LA Gay and Lesbian Center, they get sent to the right foster care, but then these kids go in, they get medical help, they get help that they need,
food, clothing.
Hollywood attracts an incredible array of people. These kids are turning tricks, they're begging, they're whatever, and for whatever reason, I don't know why, but gay men have a lot of foundations, and I've played many of them, AMFAR, etc. But the lesbian side of it doesn't have as much money and or donors, and so we're very excited that this has grown to cover women and women's affairs. Nobody can sing a whole lot of love like Linda Perry, okay?
All right.
Like, nobody.
Okay.
I can't
Moving
sing
on, Courtney.
a
Courtney,
Led Zeppelin
this
song.
is when I
Tangerine,
do
maybe.
this means we're cutting off this conversation and we're moving on.
Okay, if you have a lot of money, you should give to this foundation is what you should do.
Aneveningwithwomen.org.
.org. And it's at the Beverly Hills Hilton with,
May
me and her.
19th.
And
May
the best part
19th.
is she's going to be with me.